So here we are with Ian Braxton, coach of the Pittsworth Dane side, getting ready to play in the Madsen Rasmussen final on Sunday, mate. Important game for the club?
Yeah, it is, mate. We spoke about after training last night, and talking to some of the older guys out at the club, the president and Mark Sparky out there, and just spoke about how the town's buzz after they had their 50th year reunion a couple of weeks ago, and that followed from our game against Warwick, which was a really high quality game, and the town's excited. They haven't won the Madsen Rasmussen ever. So it is something that, it's a tricky situation you find yourself in. We've got a couple of blokes who trained last night and want to play in the game given the significance of it, but in saying that, we've got semi-finals that are a week away, and we don't want to risk losing players for the semi-finals. So it's a bit of a balancing act, but the beauty is that everyone's really keen to play and wants to be involved with it, so looking forward to it.
And South's been down a bit lately, but you're expecting them to come out on Sunday?
Yeah, mate, it's a hard one. They've had plenty to play for, and whether their focus has been on this game, I'm not sure. We can't really control what they're doing. They've got plenty of strike in their team, like their Bladesy and Holmesy and Aaron Hooper scores plenty of tries. I see they've named Tommy Landers from the Clydesdales 20s, who's a quality player, and they've got some punch with Chong Ni and those guys. So they were flying at the start of the year, and if they can find a bit of form, they'll be dangerous on Sunday, no doubt about that. So
you're close to full strength?
It's a real hard one. If you had asked me that 5 weeks ago, where I thought we were full strength 5 weeks ago, and what full strength is now is probably different for us. That Warwick game was a real turning point. We had 5 blokes out in that game, and some of the boys who put their hand up in that game probably went past some of the blokes who weren't playing. So I thought we had 17 who were our best 17, but now I think, and I spoke to the boys last night, that the tough job is I've been out there for 18 months now, and I think we've only ever had to drop 5 players. The rest of the weeks we're trying to find players to play, but we're sort of getting to a point now where there's some players that are, we're going to have more on deck next week. But yeah, really happy with the 17 that we'll field on Sunday, and they get an opportunity. I know those 17 are excited. I know there's probably 3 or 4 that are disappointed that they're not in the group. But hopefully got a few more games left this year, and they'll get an opportunity.
That's a reflection of how well the club's going, like in full grades in the final and doing okay?
Yeah, mate, it's like Mark Sparky said, and Ash Norman, they're just so excited. The C grades going well, the 18s are going well, and it's a reflection, I believe, of the hard work that the committee does out there. I don't think, and taking nothing away from other committees, they're second to none out there. They line up. The volunteers they've got, people will be away, and people jump up into their spot, and it'll do that job for them. I think they'll turn on a really good day. Hopefully the weather looks like it's going to be a good one Sunday, and I think it's going to be a really special day, and hopefully the results the one we want, and we both teams get through injury free, and it'll be a really good start to what hopefully is a good month of footy.
It's a good game to have just before the finals?
Yeah, well, mate, if you put it this way, if there wasn't a trophy on the line, we probably approach it a little bit differently, but in saying that, it doesn't hurt. I think it'll be a real grand final type atmosphere out there on Sunday, especially for our boys who are playing at home, and they'll be emotional about it. So that's going to be a positive for us. We've got a pretty young team, so to be able to play in a game of that hype, I suppose, before the actual semis come, I think is going to be beneficial to us. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a great day.
You found some attack on Sunday against Brothers, I thought?
Yeah, mate, it's, we've got a few back. We've been working a little bit on different things. I think young Jade Dempsey has just, his footy in the last 3 weeks has gone to, we challenged him, and he's just gone to another level. And that's probably happened when we lost Tommy against Highfields, who was more, in saying he's the experienced one. Tommy's only 22, I think, so. But when we lost Tommy and Liam came into the team, who's only 18, Demps, really stood up, and I think has gone forward in his game, and he really controlled us on the weekend, and that freed Liam up, which had a knock-on effect. We've got some real quality players in our team. Giver was really good for us on the weekend on the edge. You got Carpo on the other side, like Jeff Webber at the back. We're finding a bit of form and it clicked for us on the weekend, which is good.
And some of the ball movement, I thought was really good. You actually played some footy, real good footy.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, the challenge for us is when we play footy, we seem to go well and we challenge teams, but we seem to get into points in the game whether it's fatigue or what that is, but we go back to we'll take 2 or 3 rucks kick, and we don't trouble too many. So I think the beauty of the weekend is if we can take the Madison Rasmussen trophy away and we don't really have anything to lose, like we can go out and play some footy and see us are in the same boat, like they can't miss the semis, they can't go forward, they can't go back. So I think it's going to be a really entertaining game of footy. They're an attacking team, so hopefully it's a nice fine sunny day and we'll see plenty of footy, so we're looking forward to it.
And there's a bit of talk about maybe taking some semi-final type matches to the club size next year. Would that Pittsburgh would obviously be a great place for that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, mate. I'll tell you, I don't know if it's going to be really interesting. Like talking to the club last night, they said, look, don't get carried away. We don't know who's going to turn up, but I think they'll be hanging out of the rafters of the place on Sunday, and it's just a real special, I reckon, environment when you look at the NRL, when they go to Belmore and they go to Brookvale and they go to Cogra and those suburban grounds like Leichhardt, there might only be 16,000 people there, but when you ask the players, it's a really good environment, and I think if you're getting a couple of thousand people to the Oval and you jam them couple of thousand into a suburban ground, I think the atmosphere is a lot better and
a lot closer.
Yeah, it's a lot closer, and the boys enjoy it, and the Oval's a great place, but it's a decision I guess for the board to have, but I'd be in favour of seeing, I think, maybe you hold your grand final at the Oval. That's the holy grail, I guess, of rugby league in Toowoomba. That's where it's always been played, but I think there's probably an avenue to explore taking some semi-finals maybe to club grounds if they're willing to hold them.
And speaking of semi-finals, I'm not looking forward to playing in those big matches.
Yeah, mate. It's we only talked about it last night, and it's you can approach it one or two ways. You can look to the grand final and and worry about that big game at the end of the year, and you might not get there. You might get there and lose it. But as I said to the boys last night, we've had a really good year. Our first grade side, we're really good mates. We enjoy each other's company. We enjoy going to train, and I said we put ourselves in a position now where we can just enjoy our next. We're guaranteed 3 weeks. And as I said to them, if it's only 3 weeks, make sure we enjoy it. With a bit of luck, it's 5 weeks, and we'll really enjoy it. But we're the beauty is take Briggsy and Lukey Hallier out of our team, and they're all young with lots of footy to play in front of them. Briggsy, I know, and Crowey's another one who probably definitely towards right at the back end of their career, and they know how hard they are to play, and they've been through it, whereas a lot of our other blokes like Pittsworth haven't played in the semi-finals in first grade since about 2007, I think, going back. So we're excited by it, and as long as they enjoy it, I think we've got a fair team there. We've got a quality team, and if they can enjoy it and execute, I think they're going to go a fair way.
It should be a pretty tight final series.
Yeah, mate, it's an interesting one. Warwick, I think, are the benchmark. They've proved that. We played our best game of the year against them at home, and as I said, that was a real quality game of footy. It was a long way in front of what I've seen or been involved with this year and in previous years. But in saying that, Highfield, I think, are a quality team. Gatton will be a real challenge for them, I think. They haven't had a lot of tough footy, so they're going to be really fresh. But that might be a bit of a struggle for them, stepping up to that semi. Like all those top teams that have been playing each other late recently, they'll be fresh, and that'll be a challenge for them. And see us, if they can find some form this week against us, or they're a team that led the comp for nearly the whole first round, and so they've got some strike there. They've got some people to worry them. So I think it sets up for a really exciting time, over the next few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, so I suppose everyone else is.
Yeah, 100%, mate. It's going to be good.
Okay, thanks for your time, and good luck on Sunday.
Yeah, no, thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge, I suppose, you and Obi for the work that you've done. I think that the interviews that go on Facebook, you know, we often get phone calls from our mate in Townsville and blokes all around the state that follow the Toowoomba Rugby League, and I think what you've done as an organisation this year has been really good, and it's sparked a lot of interest, and I think it's something that you should be, you know, very proud of and congratulated on, and I think you're doing a great job, the committee, and I look forward to being involved with 2017.
Thanks, mate.
No worries, thanks.